People, it's Ross. I don't know who else it would be, but we're here and we're looking at this bed here because I planted a hell of a lot of snap peas. And this is a variety here called Sugar Ann. They're all kind of leaning towards the side here. I think it has a lot to do with the wind. I also thinned a bunch of them out because they were kind of encroaching the alpine strawberries here, as well as some of the tomato plants that are coming up and kind of actually are getting shaded by them. So I had to take a little bit of preventative measures there. And I kind of want to just talk to you guys a little bit about these things in this video, because they're one of the tastiest things that I grow in terms of vegetables. They're extremely sweet. I mean, it's very hard to beat their sweetness. You know, hopefully my corn, as you can see right here, this is my sweet corn. Hopefully this can rival the sweetness. Hopefully the carrots I grow can rival the sweetness. But this is like a really enjoyable thing for me. I don't know exactly how to explain this, other than they're just very sweet. So if you've had a snap pea at the store, they're nowhere near as good as this. I can honestly promise you that. There's very few, maybe a farmer's market may have them at this quality. But when they fill in, here's the thing, right? When the snap pea fills its pod with fully grown snap peas, the thing really sweetens up. It's kind of like a fruit in that way, that the last couple of days of it ripening really make a big difference. You know, if I were to eat one, let's find one that's not filled in as much. Hey, this one right here. Yeah, this one's much thinner, as you can see here. Sorry guys, I didn't put that in the camera. But maybe we can grab one down here that's much thicker, kind of do a little bit of a comparison. See the difference? So we'll eat the tasty one again. I mean, that one really had full-size pods. I don't know what the Brix is, but if I had to guess, it's probably somewhere in the 14 range. Maybe 13. Definitely sweeter than a carrot, I think, in my mind. And carrots are supposed to be one of the sweetest vegetables. Here's the thin one, and the flavor just isn't there. It's just not as good. Even fresh like this, sorry guys, my allergies are bothering me, but even fresh right off the plant like that, it's just not as good. I think you really have to wait for them to fully fill in there and get that right size pea, and I think they're really gonna get to a nice flavor that way. In terms of spacing, I like to space them 2 to 3 inches apart, and I'll just do this. You know, I won't do rows. I'll just do them that far apart, and what they end up doing is kind of, grappling onto each other like this and supporting themselves. I don't trellis them up that way. I'm probably losing a little bit of production, but in my mind, it's not a huge deal because I have so many snap pea plants in here. The other nice benefit is that peas and beans, the majority of them, are in the legume family here. And being in the legume family, they're all nitrogen fixers. So what's happening right now is that these guys may actually be fixing some nitrogen to my tomato plants, which I had planted somewhere around halfway through May. And then the snap peas I planted from seed April 1st. And because they're an early variety called Sugar Ann, they ripen very quickly. And you get a pretty decent crop this way. I've already harvested an entire crop that I then cut down. So pretty soon these guys, it'll get too hot for them. They love the cool weather. And you can plant them again in the summer to get a fall crop. But pretty soon they'll start dying. And it's kind of just in time for my tomatoes to outgrow them anyway. And then they can take over this bed in this area. So it's kind of a nice way of densely planting them. But the added benefit is that these guys will actually feed the soil quite a lot. So what ends up happening is that when I do a little chop and drop here and cut off the base of these plants, I'll leave the roots in there. That's where the nitrogen is. And then I'll leave the tops on the soil. And the soil here will then break down and also give me nutrients within the soil to the soil as well, through the mulch, through the leaves and all that. So it kind of is a nice cover crop in that sense. And you know, feeding the soil really well, and they're also just very tasty. So in my mind, I don't see why someone wouldn't grow these things, unless you lived in a very hot climate that would prevent you from doing so. I can't imagine not living without these. They're really a tasty snack. You don't have to cook them like this, you know, whereas the store-bought ones you probably should. These are really, really tasty. So that's the video, guys. I just kind of want to go over each thing at some point in the garden and in the orchard, and give you guys my thoughts on them and why I think that well, I definitely think in my mind snap peas are probably the #1 for vegetables for me. I'll always grow snap peas. The seeds are very easy to germinate. You get a reliable crop every year. You can get 2 crops off of them. You can have them in the spring and in the fall. I mean, it just is it's a no-brainer. So hopefully, guys, I inspired you a little bit. And yeah, if you're growing snap peas, let me know. If you just decided to grow some snap peas because of this video, mission accomplished. So I'll talk to you guys later. And yeah, see you guys for the next one. Take care.